guess a professional YouTube channel would have their camera and microphone ready for when the countdown was done, huh? But y'all wouldn't expect that from me. Snowfather of the Gulf. I like that. That's funny. Tell you what, they got people out here losing their minds over this snow thing. You know, they can't handle it. They cannot handle it. They're losing their minds. We just started getting the snow to melt today because today was the first day we've been, at least here, above freezing. And schools are still canceled for tomorrow because of low water pressure and stuff. So they basically got a week off of school because they were off Monday for the holiday. Well, it's been crazy. We had 9 inches of snow in my backyard. I still haven't posted pictures up really anywhere. 6 inches of work at my tower at work. Since 6 inches of snow at my tower at work and at my office. And I still say, if you take all the snow events I've had in the 40 plus years I've been alive here in Louisiana, if you add all those years up of snow events, we didn't get combined close to what we got. You know, we barely got an inch in the past. It was always slushy, kind of weird snow that was all mixed in. I mean, and I've seen snow going to Mount Hood in Oregon and hunting in Iowa and Missouri and stuff like that. I've seen snow, but nothing like that down here. This is a once in a lifetime thing that we'll probably never see again, at least at the rate it came down. But who knows, with global warming, you never know. Never know. You haven't got 9 inches all winter. Well, tell you, it's weird. It's still in my backyard, in my front yard. It's weird because it's all piled up. But on the concrete for the road and my sidewalk and driveway and stuff, it's completely melted. So you kind of have like this wall. It's weird. My dog, I have a picture of my dog. I have a small little dog, and we put her down in the snow, the 9 inches of snow, and all you can see is like her head, like right here. But she didn't think it was as funny as we did, though. So welcome everybody. I actually started on time tonight. Well, pretty much close to on time. We weren't an hour late now that hunting season's wrapping up, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Roads are closed, so I couldn't go hunting even if I want to. The last time it snowed 3 or 4 years ago, the guys who did go were able to go hunting in it, did very, very well. This time the deer didn't move, so I'm glad I stayed warm. But now the hunting season's kind of wrapping up. We'll be more on schedule with more videos, hopefully on schedule with lives, maybe do a couple more lives. I don't know, depending on what everybody wants. So I know I'm working on a lot of videos. Did a video 2 days ago on Wingbits. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I did a video last night on Silencio, going MainNet and airdrops and stuff like that, and a new kind of different way. We're going to talk about that for a little bit, just because I think it's a different way of handling rewards and stuff like that. And I'm also working on Chirp video right now, because Chirp's also went MainNet. And it's funny how when you see your project start going MainNet, all the FUD and doubts and everything that was going on in that Discord have secretly kind of silenced themselves, and you don't kind of see that kind of stuff anymore. Jay Styles with the new insulated pipes. You know, we do get, I've always joked that we get 1 weekend of freezing cold weather here, usually in January. Sometimes in February we'll get a relapse. We're getting to the 20s. So sometimes people are pretty good that we know we have to go out there and wrap pipes and put, wrap the faucets and stuff like that are outside where our hoses connect to. You know, I have a more modern house that we built 15, 20 years ago. So I have a slab, but you're right. The older houses that are around South Louisiana, especially into New Orleans, a little further south, that where they are raised up because of flooding, there's a lot of exposed pipes underneath there. And you know, you get mice and that kind of stuff like that. I've seen where they either way that insulation, they're exposed, and you can run water all night long and people end up with frozen pipes. And like right now, we're under a boil advisory because of a very low water pressure. And that's because people have pipes broken and water's just running everywhere. So, and that's all over South Louisiana right now. So people, yeah, they're not really, you know, and then you try to tell them kind of like prepare like for a hurricane where you might not be able to get to the store for 2 or 3 days. Everything's closed. Make sure you have food. And, you know, we were shut in for 2 days down here and people are losing their minds because they have to be able to get to the store. And when's the store going to reopen? You know, try to warn people. But anyway, so one thing I've been battling for the last 2 or 3 hours is, and I brought this up in the live a while back, but apparently I still labeled them wrong, is I am in and out of a number of ESP32 projects. So on the desk behind me, you know, I have 5 different ESP32 projects plugged in. And as I went and installed these things, you know, you don't have them, you just do one and then you do another and do another one. So when like you want to unplug flex time or FLX time or whatever it's called this week, you know, you don't have a name on the top of it. So you're sitting there trying to figure out, how in the hell do I figure out which one's which? And when you look at the host ID that's in your router, you know, one of them said like, you know, Irwin or one of them like that, but the other ones didn't say what they belong to. So you have to kind of figure it out, or you have to take it and put it back on a console and stuff like that. Or a while back, I thought this was brick because I wrote brick on it, and then it's been plugged in since I labeled them the last time, which was around January 9th. And I go today to look at my rewards on brick, and it says it's been unplugged since January 9th. So apparently I labeled it wrong. So I've been sitting here battling, trying to figure it out. I think I have it figured out. And what's weird is one of them, when you plug it in, it says entropy on the script, but it's not the entropy project. So they must have piggybacked off of it. It has been a, J Style says he will send me 3D printed cases. You know, if as long as I can label it right, I know which one's which now because I have it labeled as entropy or entropy number 2 for my second cred, or Irwin. And I am finally trying to get into junk coin. I just posted on my Twitter X right here, my junk picture from, I don't really call it junk box. I call it my extra supplies of wires and stuff. My wife calls it junk box. So I posted on my Twitter X my junk box with my wires that you never know what you're gonna need. I even threw an old Bitcoin ASIC miner on top of it just for some fluff, and you know, posted my 3 people and stuff like that. I gotta go. I know part of junk coin is to join junk you have to, I think you have to hold 1 million junk, which I have no idea what that's going to cost, but I don't think it's going to cost me that much because I looked at the price action, it's got a bunch of zeros in the front. So I'm looking at doing junk since a lot of y'all told me about it and y'all told me to jump on that. So I am planning on getting in some junk, you know. I've been talking back and forth with those guys, but I'm going to do it the right way. So I tagged my 3 friends and junk corn and all that stuff like that on my Twitter, and I'm gonna post it some other places and, you know, eventually do a video on it and that kind of stuff like that. So we'll see what junk. I was in Moken Spaces early and was cheating and entropy. Entropy is an ESP32 project, which we're doing very well with, but it's got some restrictions on it to try to, you know, keep the price held up while they move on to some different, or expand on the project, or, you know, they plan on doing like an entropy I think it's B or Entropy 2 or something like that. But Entropy is a project where you take this device right here, and I have a link in my description where you can buy 3 of these for like $18, or you can get them, you know, that's from Amazon in like 2 or 3 days. Some people say you can get them from, you know, AliExpress or something like that if you want to wait 2 weeks for it to save $2 or $3. But anyway, and you load a program on it using a loader, and we're making like $25 a day right now on them. But there's like what's called a second law. And a second law says that if you sell up a certain amount, you have to then burn that amount and then wait 7 days before you can sell again. When you sell, they call it cheating. And me, I have never sold any of the Entropy on mine. I do have an extra wallet just so I can keep it separate, where I do also buy the Entropy token, which is a Solana based token, which is, you can, you know, use Jupiter or something like that. And when I see it dive like it did yesterday, and to be honest with you, I missed some of it, but it took a horrible price dive yesterday because somebody sold a huge amount and it got all bought right back up. You know, I even set up buy orders on Jupiter. You know, I'll put $25 or $50 buy order on Jupiter, that when it automatically dives and I'm not sitting here watching it, it's going to automatically buy that low price. So I'm buying it that way also. If you go to the website justentropy.lol, you should be able to see that. If you are interested in it, I can see it and get to that real quick. I'll show you what that looks like if you're interested. So this is the website, Just Entropy, JUSTENTROPY.LOL. And you know, it kind of explains it, and why a lot of people go to this project is because it's miners eat first is the hashtag you're going to see on Twitter, X, whatever, because the foundation, there's really no project behind it. It's a first D-pin meme coin, if you want to call it that, but the headquarters doesn't make a dime off of it until you actually sell, which is just a platform fee, as you can see down here. And if you have to claim it within every 7 days, just claiming it from the project to your wallet doesn't hurt you. It's when you try to sell it from your wallet or transfer it out your wallet to a friend or anything like that is what hurts you. So who fought it? X? I missed you talking about the price ENT going down. All I was saying, who fought it, was I was trying to explain to B13SR what entropy is and what's cheating, and I was trying to explain to him. So yeah, somebody went and sold a whole bunch of like entropy this morning, but people bought it up. They bought it up faster than I could even get to it. And I got to remember to set some more buy orders. That's basically it. Is, you know, I'll set these buy orders if the price is 0.0014. I'll set that point like 0011 or less than that. And so when somebody jeets it hard, I'm scooping it up at a discount because it comes right back up. You know, it has kind of been, you know, to be honest and fair, it has been kind of in the side channel for a while now, but when it goes under that under that sideways channel, it gets bought back up right back into the sideways channel. So let's see if I can pull it up real quick. So it's actually going all over the place. I didn't even realize it. Like I said, I have been very busy today with a couple of different things going on, and trying to get to it, but my lives, nothing can go right. All right, here we go. So you have this price action, as you can see, with entropy, and you can see when people start selling, it goes down, and then somebody ends up scooping it up and it ends up coming right back up, and it comes down, and you see you got people who are buying it up when it falls. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm even one of them. When it was hovering over this 14 price, I had orders set in at 11. So when it hit this 11, my automatic buys go in. And again, I'm using Jupiter for that. And it comes up, and then as you can see, when somebody sells with this project, it hurts. So you had a whale. I mean, I guess he was a whale. He sold this huge amount. But he made $2,000 or $3,000 off of it. But as you can see, it didn't take long for it to go right back up. And somebody must have made a huge buy earlier because it really shot up. So that's what's that? But like you said, it's kind of, like I said, it's been kind of that sideways price action. But as soon as it goes down, which to me is healthy. Like I said, you're making $24 a day. There's not many other projects you can make that kind of stuff in. Am I worried about the project? No. I'm gonna tell you the whole. I missed the beginning part of the Moken spaces. I understand that there were some words that went back and forth in the beginning part of it. You just have to understand that that's how this project is. They make the jokes about the cheating and snakes and chairs and that it's nothing and it's always nothing. And, you have to understand that that's where it comes from. I'm trying to say this to be kind of fair and balanced on both sides. You don't have to participate in any of it. You just sit back and mine it. If sit back, collect your $25, whatever, and every 5 or 7 days you move it to your wallet, and you wait until the next step, whether that's going to be on a CEX or some point. I've even said, to be fair, we're not getting this project to mine for a year straight and to never sell. Nobody's going to get into a project for that long, or 2 years, make $25 a day, end up with thousands and thousands of tens of thousands or whatever it is, and never sell. At some point, the project has to understand, or they do understand to a point, you selling. I think you can even sell a little bit of an amount without even triggering the second law. If you look at your dashboard, I'm not, me, I haven't touched it. I have one cred that does nothing but burns. I've never touched it. It's burned over $2,000 worth. Last I checked, I think it was like 11 million tokens or something. The other ones just collect, but I'm sure one day I'm gonna want to collect. Yeah, I don't know the whole rage quitting thing. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with the whales. I don't know. I don't concern myself with it. I ain't gonna sit and tell you I didn't think about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not. But I don't know what because the whole guy with the rage quit with the thing on Moken, I understand everything's cool now from what they chatted after the Moken thing was over with. I wasn't part of that chat, so I don't know. I know they created a meme coin as kind of a gift to him, and several people bought it, which put a little bit of liquidity into it. And that guy got a certain percentage as a gift, and it was on there clear as day that was what the plan was going to be. And apparently, money heals wounds. I don't know. Again, I wasn't part of the whole thing. There's been several people that have rage quit. Some of them are drama queens. You can watch what they're about. And, the thing about it is I've watched, they're going to sell this huge, crazy amount, and then they figure out that it's going to be like half a year before they can ever do it again, because they just had to go sell this huge amount, or because the price action isn't going up fast enough, and they're burning themselves, and then they get pissed off when they realize that. I don't know. It's not just this project. I talk about that in some other videos where, people ask me, have I already sold all my Soarchain? It's been on MainNet for 2 weeks. How much Soarchain you sold? I haven't sold any of it. I'm not selling any token when it first goes to Chirp. I'm still trying to figure out in Chirp's what I was planning on talking about, but somehow I have $215 worth of Chirp in my wallet from the airdrop. From what I understand, that's not even from the station I had. That's supposed to be from me doing that app, I guess. I don't know, because we understand the Chirp you made during testnet with a station, you on a miner, you haven't even gotten it yet. From what the little bit I'm reading, I'm not selling that. Grass. I tell everybody all the time, I got my grass airdrop. I sold a little bit of it when I was on a hunting trip. The rest of it, it ended up going up to almost $1,000, over $1,000. I'm not selling all that. So same thing with entropy. Just right now, I don't need it. I'm not dying, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if emergency comes at my house and I need my money, I'll sell it and just deal with the consequences. But I also understand that those are my consequences. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. Yep. Silencio's TGE is tomorrow. I'm very curious to see the airdrop, because I know some people with Silencio have said that their rankings dropped some. Mine went up. If we're talking in golf numbers, I was at 1140 last week, busted my butt trying to get it above 1100. Never could get up to 1100. Yesterday when I checked it, or whatever day it was, I checked it and did the video, I was down to like 1020, 1020. Now, I know my token share went down because I was supposed to get almost 1 million tokens, and that's down to like 800,000. So I don't know if there's people who use my code and started gaming. I can't control that. So I don't know, but then I can't figure out why my ranking would go up. If that's the way you want to look at it, go get lower, whatever way you want to look at it. Get better, unless there were several people who were gaming underneath me between, number 1 and 1020, and that's why they got removed, and that's how I got to get moved up. I don't know. So did the $10 tax go to the Sorry thing? No, Sorry was completely separate as a joke, and a couple people bought into it. I put like $10 into it. I moved some of my profits from the Trump token. I got in at the Trump token at 0.0014, and I don't even know what it's up to this right now, but I did very well on the Trump token. I was in the middle of hunting when somebody told me about it. It's slowly going down. The excitement is over with, I guess, until he decides to say something about it again, and then I guarantee his followers will jump back on it. The Melania token didn't do anything. Somebody told me there was a Baron token. I know there was, like, the day that Trump came out, there was like 25 different Baron tokens. It's crazy when you go to pump.fun, that website, and we joke about how there's 2,000 memes a day made. I guarantee there's more than that, because you're watching pump.fun and you're just watching these tickers go by. This token was just created. This token was just created. This token was just created. This token was created. How are people buying into that and getting liquidity out of it? I don't know, but they are, because I'm watching them. You get some green, and all of a sudden they sell it, and then they move on to the next thing. Oh. Ichabod, is it Ichabod? Ichabod Angel? Angel says, what happened to Flex? They rugged me and left the project, but did it continue to run? I'm trying not to get people too mad at me. I still to this day have with no, I'll say this again. I say this disclaimer because I got in trouble last week by somebody, and I had to do that video last week. I should have took some deep breaths and a shot of alcohol first to calm my nerves, but I went off on that video last week. So if it upset y'all, I apologize. And if y'all liked it, then make sure y'all gave it a thumbs up. But so I like to be able to say disclaimers first that I don't have any evidence what I'm about to say, but my suspicion is that it was awfully coincidental that Flex accidentally, let me do air quotes, accidentally sent somebody who was at one time involved in the project, gets automatically sent all the Flex tokens or whatever it was, 87, 90% of all the Flex token accidentally. Now look, I've never been part of a project where I'm the one doing the payouts and I'm the one doing the rewards and all this stuff like that, or the smart contracts or whatever it was. I don't know how you accidentally pay somebody if you accidentally press the wrong zero or too many zeros. I just think it's awfully coincidental. We didn't know when we would get paid every day on that or rewarded every day. It didn't happen at the same exact time because it was manually being done. Yet this guy is sitting there, the guy who received the accidental rewards, and he cashes them out immediately. I'm talking about like 0 seconds in between. He immediately cashes them out for several Solana at the time or whatever it was, 9 Solana, 10 Solana, 13 Solana. It just seemed awfully coincidental. And the guy was just like, yeah, I'm sorry it happened. Like, that was basically it. And then all of a sudden you have somebody from another project who comes in 4 or 5 hours later. Don't quote me on the exact time frame. Who's there? We're coming to bail the project out. It's going to continue, and we're going to help them out and that kind of stuff like that. That was back in, I want to say, November. And then you keep saying it's coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. Now there's supposedly a DevNet version or a test version. Like, it's just the ESP32 project. It's not, unless they completely revamped it to something else, it ain't that difficult. And then they had a little bit of liquidity in the token that came in somehow. People started cashing out and they started telling us, hey, don't go cash out that token. Hold on to it, even though there's liquidity. The shit you say, I'm done with it. So, I bought about $40 worth of the token when it first started. So I was out of $40. I got my $40 back. They told us when all that happened that they were going to have to make a new token because this guy had held on to all them, or got those tokens, even though he sold most of them. I'm not holding on to that token. And I'm telling you, I know this is a very long answer, and I apologize this is a long answer, but I'm not going to be involved in the project no matter what. It just sounds too fishy to me. Look, accidents happen. Complete accidents happen. But when you have several coincidences that line up, is it really an accident? Again, I don't want to accuse anybody because I don't have any evidence of that. But sometimes the coincidences just line up that makes me not feel right about it. And I'm not going to endorse the project. You're not going to hear me talk about the project or anything like that. If they do start off I have no issues with the guys from Crank, Milan and them. Hey, he's got a good project with Crank going. I have nothing against him. If he can somehow turn around that project, but you don't see him really saying anything about it anymore either, other than that first or second day, at least from what I've seen. So I'm just not going to get involved in it. And that's why I have this right here that's about to become junk coin, because that's why I talk about these. Is a lot of these projects, you have nothing to lose with your device. If whatever project you put on this thing, Flex, when you want to try a different project, you just wipe it and put the new project on it. So, yes, if you had an NFT last or whatever, if you involved in the Flex, you're automatically involved in the Flex too. I'm not doing it. Again, and I have nothing to lose, but it's a principal part for me. And I know I'm a angry old man, but honorable, whatever you want to call it. If I miss out, I miss out. If y'all get to the moon and I don't get to take the ride with y'all, I'll have to catch the next one. There's just a part of me that I just don't like the whole thing that went down. I don't like the fact that for 2 months now you have people waiting it doesn't, it's not that difficult to start that project unless you're making it into a completely different project with a completely different programming and developing. And I don't know. That's just me again, and um, yeah, so far that's the new DPIN tokens you're gonna immediately, you never know, because you never know what's going on with the market at the time. Again, I use this for example because I've called every part of this project wrong. Was grass. Grass came out and it was, what was it, like 45 cents, 46 cents, 48 cents when it came out, and then a week or two later it's at $4. So people who I know who thought it was going to go down, who sold that token, I'm sure they had a little bit of regret in the morning. Now right now, last I checked, is down like $2, but I don't know. So something else we wanted to talk about. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Bitcoin, and I know y'all don't come to me for TA and stuff like that, but all these people online start, raising questions. I see it on Twitter, and of course, it's probably people on the other side. But Donald Trump's been in office for 48 hours. Why isn't Bitcoin going through the moon? Why isn't he signing more stuff to get it done? Look, there's probably a lot of stuff he's got to get done. I still think eventually, long term, with a pro crypto president, whoever that president would have been, whoever's the pro crypto one, with a pro crypto legislature, look at the SEC. Gary Gensler knows he's about to get fired or quit, and 24 hours before his last day, he has to go put a lawsuit out on HNT for helium for securities. Like it had to be just one last dig. And when a new guy in charge of the SEC takes over, we know what's going to happen. Unless they got some very hardcore proof of the Securities Act or whatever it is. I just, helium and all this has been in place for how long now? Since 2020. And now y'all coming 5 years later after him? Get out of here, man. Like, I think that one move alone, the SEC under new leadership, because you've had projects, you've had exchanges and stuff, always ask, what's the rules? Can you tell us what the guidelines are on crypto? And he would say, y'all automatically should know what it is. Here's a lawsuit because y'all didn't follow it. Well, we've been asking y'all for the rules and you can't tell us. So I think the SEC getting moved with a new leader, I think that's going to be very proactive. That alone. Now, the Bitcoin, reserve that they're talking about, I think that's going to be big. I was watching Tyler earlier and George earlier. Both of them are talking about that if you have the United States starting a Bitcoin reserve, then you have other countries that start following it against the supply shocks out of it. They can see that going up. I still think eventually that's going to help alts. Some people are starting to lose faith in that, but that's what normally happens before an alt cycle. Is that why helium went down in price? I believe so. Because anytime the SEC goes after any of these projects, you watch that token price go down. But, I've also, and I don't know if anybody can answer this for me, is I haven't checked the last day or two, but I'm still getting IoT for my 17 IoT miners. What happened to, we were only getting HNT? Because the HNT price is falling hard too. So, people complaining about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 103,000. People still complaining. It's crazy. It's crazy. What else? So yeah, I did a Wingbits video. For those of y'all who are in Wingbits, they have people who have started sharing, and I'm very jealous. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like Christmas Day when some kid got their toy and I didn't get my toy, the toy I wanted or something like that, and now they're showing off. But these people doing these videos on they got their geosigners in. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. So Boobop whoever Boobop is. Boobop got his geosigner in, and I'm quite jealous, to be honest with you. I want to be a geosigner. I have 17 or 14 geosigners coming from me. My family's got a couple of them. Friends have a couple of them. All of ours are either still stuck in customs in, I'm assuming that's China, Szechuan, whatever it is, or they've cleared customs, and that's the last update. That's as furthest as mine is going. They have not been received in the United States yet, so I am a tad jealous that Boobop here got his device and I didn't. It is kind of like how we thought it was going to be. It's going to be the black device. Cap comes off the end of it. You can put USB on it. Then you can also do, that's the GPS antenna. I think, it's going to be a little pain in the butt to get them installed. Again, I have 14 devices. 4 of those are across the United States. One guy who was supposed to be putting a miner up for me in Missouri, who's been having a miner since November. If y'all paid attention to any of my other videos about that, he has decided that to sell the house where he was installing that at. So he's supposed to be shipping it back to me. Well, the geosigner's on the way to his house. So I told him to hold on to everything until that geosigner comes in and then ship it all back to me, and we'll work out some kind of deal for that. But that's been paying the butt. I got somebody who wants a device. If y'all saw my video, my Wingbits video, somebody in Chugwater, Wyoming, and I had to look that place up because I had no idea where the hell Chugwater, Wyoming was. He contacted me, said he didn't want to deal with all this stuff. If I had a station, we'd work out a deal. We worked out a deal. And again, I'm not going to ship anything to him till a geosigner device comes in. But Chugwater, Wyoming, which is wide open for a spot, there's not another station within hundreds of miles of them. So there should be a couple of hexes open that I should be getting wide rewards for. When that's the kind of case, I'm willing to work out some crazy deals like that, versus if somebody had, I had somebody contact me wanting a host station for Wingbits, and he had 2 or 3 stations relatively close to him, and I just turned it down. I'm like, it's just not worth it. So, did I see GeoPulse God's first mission? No, Dave, I have not, because I have not gotten the GeoPulse, so I haven't really kept up with it. I knew that was coming out soon. Some cheaters got banned on IoT miners. Not sure if it made a huge impact. So I know for Angel, it gave Angel, they basically banned the whole country of China. They found that, almost all the stations there were not taking in any IoT data or at all. They were all strictly gaming, and almost all of them, I forget how many they said they were, almost all of them were basically cheating off each other, spoofing, whatever you want to call it. And they were all cashing in their IoT daily for cash. And basically it was just one big spoof. To me, you've had this spoof thing out, this ban, where they could ban stations and stuff like that. That's been out for 2 years now. Why does it take this long? Why did it take an HIP to get that done? If they knew this was going on, why didn't they just ban them? So I don't know. I still don't know what happened to why I'm not getting helium. Junkcoin's good people. Look, I'm gonna tell you, Junkcoin reached out to me and said, "Look, we heard you had some hesitation about it. Is there anything we can do to explain the project and help you out?" They didn't offer me anything. They didn't say, "Hey, we'll give you 1 million free," anything like that. They were like, "Hey, we heard you had some hesitation. Is there anything we can help you with?" And I said, "No." It was just the fact that every day there was a new ESP32 project coming out at the time, and I'm like, okay, we need to pump our brakes and calm down a little bit, you know, especially for me. I'm in a couple of different ones, Useless Brick and Irwin and Entropy. It was just getting to be, and then you had the thing that just happened with the Flex token, and I'm like, all right, you know, maybe I need to come out with one called lint token and show me the lint that you got in your pocket or something like that. I don't know. It was a joke, but it was more or less just that fact. Nothing personal against the project. So they seem like good people. I will say that. Oh, going through the chat. T.O. says rules and ideas can change quick in crypto. Listen, I say it all the time, and you get some people in these discords that downright lose their mind over that. Saying, you know, that's not what y'all said last week. No, even like tokenomics, projects change tokenomics. Usually nobody's happy. Sometimes some people are happy. I know Wingbits keeps talking about tweaking their tokenomics. There are going to be some people who have a station set up who aren't getting a lot of tokens that might get them improved, and they might be happy. And I'm sure there's going to be some people who might lose a little bit if they are slamming wings because they're got a great setup in the middle of nowhere and getting 40 hexes all at max hex. I mean, I know I've seen 2 or 3 stations on that project that that one station, wherever it's at, one station makes more than 14 of my stations combined a day. That's crazy. So I can see them trying to max them out to it maybe a little bit. So I know them tokenomics going to change. I know they're talking about rewarding people who have catching more low altitude stuff at airports, because that's what some customers are looking for. And I know, my point is, I know that when they go tweak that, it's going to cause a little bit of ruffle. I can't wait till geosigners get done. When geosigners go out there, we've talked in the past about projects like helium and stuff. We've suggested in the helium Discord years ago, why not add a GPS add-on that will get rid of because you can spoof GPS. Well, apparently Wingbits figured out that you can if you put some type of encryption chip or something in it. And, you know, if you want to go and game after all that, get a life. That's all I can say. But it will still knock down, in my mind, 80 to 90%, if not more, of the gaming and spoofing that's going on. And if Wingbits needs us to wait an extra month to get rid of that, I'm all for it. Because that's all that's going to do is people like you and me who have legit devices, to me, it's going to help them out. So did I see Soarchain's big update a little bit ago? Though I have been very busy today, doing a bunch of other little stuff right around here. And I know that when I went to the store earlier, first time I got out since the snowstorm, my Soarchain did a firmware update. It did it automatically through the app when I go in a car to make sure that my device is connected. It was already doing an update. So I did not go and play around with it to see what it actually did. But my only question is, did it actually change anything to do with rewards? That's my first question. Because I think if they don't tweak them rewards, they're gonna have issues. I know that's what started the fight that I got into with the guy from who clearly was from DFly, because he said, "How do I have the gall to ever complain about DFly and attack DFly?" Which is all I needed to hear. And they just stand and say, "How can I talk negative about Soarchain?" Because you killed the freaking rewards. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, for those in Soarchain, just to make it clear again, I have no problem if they want to reduce rewards while parking, because I've always questioned that in a lot of my videos. How are y'all making anything in data with a car that's parked? You want to take rewards back, but you still can't call it gaming. People who said that I was gaming or whoever was gaming because our phones were connected while it was parked with Soarchain. Look, I'm sorry, when I park my vehicle, I don't make sure it's disconnected. When I'm walking around, I walk in my house, it stays connected. So I've always questioned that. So if they want to reduce those rewards, I understand that. But you're going to have to at least increase the rewards while we're driving. You know, and talking to one of the admins, and apparently I got attacked for that, like that was something evil. But believe that was in one of the general groups, or he reached out to me or whatever it was. He said we plan on doing more rewards with vehicle to vehicle networking and stuff like that, rewards and stuff like that. But I still say, me driving 3 hours to my hunting camp the other day, I made 10 tokens, and just right up, I'm not lying to nobody because I don't want nobody to say I'm lying. Soarchain is at 1.3. It's down 25%. Down 41% for the month. But again, if I'm making on a 3-hour drive, I'm making 30. Soar, I'm making 40 cents. And most of us, when you figure out how much you drive back and forth to work, I don't know how much more driving you're doing that. Yes, this is going to be another project like Natix that probably is going to benefit the people who have ride share and across the road trucking and that kind of stuff like that. But I want to see this project succeed. I've been involved in this project for a long time. I've talked very highly of this project. If you don't want to pay $4 a day, I can understand that, especially while you're being parked. But you're going to have to up the rewards while driving if you want to retain people. That's just my 2 cents on it. Angel, I 2000% agree with that statement. Angel says, the thing, if you increase the rewards while driving, there's always people gaming and you're also rewarding the gamers. I completely understand that. But I also say, as Mr. Negative, and if this is negative, then I'm sorry. But I also say, if you don't reward the people who are doing it the right way, all you're going to have left is the gamers. Because I'll complain about DIMO, and I'm only making, I forget what it was, 12 or 14 cents a day. But the thing about DIMO is you never have to touch it. You sit there, I have it, and I'll use the same example. I'm sorry for those who have been here for a while, and I'll keep repeating myself. I have it set up in my wife's vehicle and my son's vehicle. Until there's a firmware update, which happens about once every 3 months, I never have to deal with it. You just drive back and forth. I have a helium device here at my house on top of a 40-foot ham tower. They can go all the way to work. They can go all the way to school, go to the grocery store, go to the gym, do whatever they do. And my helium device picks that up the entire way, 10-mile radius, maybe a little bit less, 5-10-mile radius. So you don't have to mess with it. People are not going to want to keep screwing with that Soarchain thing and making sure it's connected every time they get in the car to make 10 cents going to work. That's just my 2 cents on it. To me, somebody can figure out a way to get rid of the gamers. And then the best part is I got attacked in their Discord when I brought that question up about people using GPS spoof programs and emulators, that I was creating FUD and I was a no good, you know what, for bringing it up. And then the best part is I'm making it up, but yet the admins and the mods there tell us how they plan on combating those people doing that stuff. So apparently I wasn't lying, and just the fanboy cheerleaders don't want to sit there and think that the fact that there's possibly people gaming this project. Look, I had people reach out to me asking me, do I want the GPS program to spoof that so it looks like you're moving all the time? No, I don't. I don't. I'll continue to make my 30 cents a day and do it the right way and hope it just gets fixed on its own. Do you think you monitor of the month or something because you're damn sure whatever issue? If you sell out that second cred, you're gonna second cred name will sell the issue if you hold a whale NFT. XRP rel. I don't know what you're talking about, man. The only way you ever can have a second credit and be able to sell without an issue is if you hold a whale NFT. All the people that have a second cred have it to support the project and know you can't sell it. Okay, well, I don't know about whale NFTs and stuff like that. I know that that's part of the project now and stuff like that, but apparently I'm not keeping up with that much of the project. I mean, I have a second cred. I didn't ask for it. I was giving it to it, and I just don't touch it. That's, I'm not thinking I'm the greatest hero in the world. It's just that when people want to call me greedy and I'm out for myself or I'm out for grumpy only, like I've been accused of last week and probably the week before that and the week before that, I'll use it for an example. I have burned $2,000 worth of freaking entropy. If that doesn't prove that I'm not greedy, or even with Goofy D-Fly, with D-Fly, I had 200,000 fly tokens. They put some liquidity into it, and instead of me just selling all 200,000 and finally getting my $1,600 back that I lost in that scam Ponzi project, I started reaching out to people that I knew were in that project and said, who got screwed over also, and said, hey, go look on MetaMask. There's finally some volume and some liquidity there. Go and sell your tokens. Now, I sold half of mine, but I'm still holding a bag of 90,000 worthless fly when I could have just sold it all and then told people. But, no matter what you do, some people think that you're greedy, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So here's maybe a solution. DIMO got a SIM card in the device. This is what DIMO card. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't buy anything. It wasn't that's included. If it was DIMO or some of these other Hive Map or anything that has a SIM card that I'm responsible for paying the SIM after a year, I'm not touching, because I've learned with Helium, despite what I make now, nobody knows what you're going to make tomorrow. And DIMO's that same thing. I don't think I'm making, I don't know what the SIM's going to charge monthly. So I don't want to, but I know what yearly, but I'm not taking a risk on having to pay that SIM bill or whatever. I see I have 21 people here. We started 57 minutes ago. Please hit the like button, just because I wouldn't be a YouTuber without asking for y'all to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That's a magic script that to have a YouTube channel, you have to automatically say, apparently. Again, I hope Soarchain does well. I hope that they somehow fix it, but I still say if they don't fix it soon, I even brought the same thing up with Helium years ago in the Discord and then the Facebook pages, and I got completely attacked for it. And I kept saying, if they don't fix that soon, at 900,000 devices were online when this was hot and heavy, we were making 17 to 20 cents a day. Yes, at one point I was making enough, and I tell the same story. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but at one point I made $5,000 in 17 days because I bought my first miner for $5,000, me and two buddies, for Helium. We made that back in 17 days. That was before the price was even $20 a coin. And then 900,000 miners coming, you're making 17 cents a day. And I kept saying, if they don't fix something soon, they don't do something soon, they don't limit this soon or something, you're going to have people who quit. Oh, no. And I got completely attacked for it. No way. No, there's no reason. Why would people unplug it? It don't make no money. I mean, it doesn't cost any money with energy or anything, power, and there's just no reason to unplug it. And guess what? You had 600,000 people unplug their miner, and we're still making 17 cents a day. Somebody needs to explain that. But don't forget with Helium, the investors are still making the original investors are still making 350,000 HNT every month. Before last year's halving, they were making 750,000 HNT every month. Before that halving, they were making 1.5 million HNT every month. And remember, the token was $40 a piece. So I will never feel sorry for anything that happens with Helium. I do have my miners going for 17 days. I still have 17 miners going that I keep up, because together it makes me $7 or $8 a day. And I just convert that to either Entropy, Solana, Trump coin, whatever the hot token is that month. But when people come in and say this about helium or that about helium, I will spit it right back and regurgitate it to them that's funny, because December 31st, those original investors made 350,000 HNT while we scrapped up 17 cents a device. Ugh. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who are feeding back, that are fighting back about the CBRS thing. I know this is not what y'all want to hear. Maybe I'm tired. I shouldn't be saying this, but again, when I was in these, I'm still the admin for 2 different helium groups. Because everybody else has abandoned it. It was me and 2 other guys that were the admins, and they both gone. They just completely bailed. I'm stuck holding the bag on both of them. But I tried telling people when this 5G came out, because I did work with, and I do the RF work, and I know a little bit. Talking to some of these guys that I had friends that in South Louisiana who ran WISP, which are wireless internet service providers. That this 5G thing, you weren't going to be able to just buy 5G equipment, stick it on your house, and think it was going to work, and you're going to make all this money. You can't go and take your little dial-up, AOL dial-up modem, and go hook it up to that. And sure enough, you had people who had speeds. And I kept saying, I have cellular providers on my towers. I know what kind of equipment they're putting up and what kind of pipeline they got. Helium wasn't going to be able to compete with that. Now, Helium selling it for $5 a month or something makes it intriguing. But I kept saying, trying to tell people, I wouldn't go waste your money on it. But everybody was all like, well, when Helium first came out, we making $5,000 in 17 days. Guy in Baton Rouge right here had $1 million worth of HNT when I first got into it, when the price was still $10 a piece back in 2020, 2021. So everybody thought that was going to happen again with the 5G. Yeah, David was another one. He got screwed with some stuff that went on behind the scenes, and I play Call of Duty every night with David, every night, about every night. He got a new girlfriend, and his girlfriend's more important than his boys with Call of Duty. It's kind of upsetting, but we won't talk about it. I don't want y'all to see me cry on the internet. On live, but Dave got a new girlfriend, and he likes his girlfriend more than he likes his friends. But me and Dave are tight. But yeah, Dave got screwed with some stuff that went on too, and he said, F this, I'm out. And I probably would have said the same thing. No, he's doing okay. He had a very sick family member for a while that he had to dip out, and that's why he got removed from DFly's, because he was a DFly mod at first with us, and because he got, I don't want to say too much of his business, but a family member who got very sick with cancer and had to go and help them out, and he had to take off of work for a week or 2 to go help this person out, and DFly booted him. That was my first hint of how bad that project was, and I tried explaining that to Oreo at the time, and that was my first of my many hints that I should have taken. Oh, yeah. I had him on, if you look back at my videos, I had him as my first AMA when I was trying to learn how to do AMAs, because Wingbits wants to do an AMA and some other projects. And I'm not intimidated as much as doing this, but doing an AMA to represent a project correctly, whether that's, Bit Harvest, whether or not that's Wingbits, whether or not that's, other projects that want to do AMA, it's just a little bit different because you want to represent them projects, right? So he actually agreed to come on my show as like an AMA with him and just talk about how he feels about crypto market and Bitcoin, because despite what he wants to really admit or not, he's a little bit of a Bitcoin maximalist. He still feels that, yes, these alts, and he does invest in some alts, but he does feel that in the end, Bitcoin will be used more for purchasing and this different stuff like that, where the alts will be strictly like the gas or what projects are built on. But he just has a different way of looking at it and stuff. And time will tell. Time will tell. But he's a cool guy. He looks at things a little differently. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good. You know, I've always said we don't know it all, and sometimes it's good to listen to other people's ideas or thoughts and stuff like that, so that you're not just narrow-minded in what you think. You know. So again, I'm gonna work on the chirp video. I like this. I'm wondering if Chirp's gonna start selling their devices again. I have one of their Chirp miners on top of a roof, and I've always said I'd like to get one more device. $800 is a little bit the swing. Maybe I should have sold my Trump token when it was on top. But and despite what some people say, in the Soarchain Discord that want to attack me, the Wingbits devices and people using my code is not selling off the shelf. You know, you've had a lot. I think they've had 2,000 devices sold. There's a lot of people talking about that in the crypto industry. So if you have not gotten, you know, a Wingbits device, you might want to go look into it. I don't really know exactly where they are with everything right now. Looks like they might have had just a recent update that came out. I didn't see this one. So if you are trying to get your GeoSigner, apparently whoever I guess it's HiFix who manufactured it. Well, no, that's the stations. I don't know who manufactured the GeoSigners for them. It was an outside company, but if you are in any of these countries, Turkey, Mexico, or South Africa, you do have some steps you need to take before you get your GeoSigner. Shipping company will need your 11-digit tax ID. Mexico told by shipping company that we need your RFC-CURP to ship to you. I have no idea what that means. In South Africa, we've been told shipping company we need your 13-digit tax ID to ship to you. Now, I want to say there was about 1,800. This is something that I think it was MP Helium brought this up earlier. If I'm not mistaken. What was it? MP Helium? Who was it? Somebody brought this up earlier about missing addresses, that there's still 226 stations that have not provided their shipping addresses. Your genocide ready to ship is you need to provide the address. And they couldn't believe there was that many. But I want to say they were at 1,800. So that means 1,650 people, not stations. So you don't know how many people it actually was. But anyway, sometimes I think you got people who just set these things up and then just like, they don't come back and visit, you know, and I don't understand how you can get into a testnet project and you got to keep up with the testnet stuff that's going on. And then you don't, you don't keep up with it, and you don't, to me, I've always said you have to keep up with what's going on with the changes and what's going on with testnet, because part of testing is you're testing stuff out. It's not mainnet, and they're going to ask you questions, or you might need to make certain steps and take certain steps. And how you're not going to Discords to learn about, what's possibly going on. Chinese New Year, I'm very jealous at the fact that they take a week or two off for Chinese New Year when I get 2 days off of work. But that's, I know I've always known they take that kind of seriously. They're expecting majority of the shipments to arrive at the recipient address 7 to 14 days, 1 to 2 weeks after shipping. So I know a lot of mine shipped out January 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. So I'm just getting to be a week. So in other words, I got to get comfortable. But like I said, there were 2,000 devices. I'm going to put my little scroll here so that nobody attacks me saying that, I'm owning tokens and stuff like that. For those, even though Silencio is going MainNet, you can still use the code that's way over here. I'll put that up there in case you just want it. I have no idea what you even get out of it now, other than some raffle tickets and stuff. I did want to talk about that real quick. But I still think this Wingbits thing, and I've been told to kind of calm down about it, but that's just my own feelings, is that I think this Wingbits thing is going to be big. If you saw my video, if you haven't seen my video, go check the video I made about yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know exactly when it aired, but it shows you some quotes from some outside people on how they feel about it, and it also gets rid of a lot of this FUD. This FUD that I keep hearing over and over about people saying, why would anybody buy Wingbits data when they can get it for free now? And I've always argued, and these articles back me up, that they're not getting it for free. You can download FlightAware on your phone to see where your mom or your brothers or your girlfriends or your wife's or your girlfriend and your wife's plane is, and you can look at the app and get it. But any industry, any company, anybody who wants that data has to pay FlightAware. So you have people who are uploading that stuff to FlightAware and different places like that for free and not getting paid. So Wingbits says, hey, we'll ingest data, sell it, but then we're going to give you back some of the money. And they already have paying customers. That was made apparent in a previous AMA. So, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. You definitely need that. Definitely need Discord. So, and real quick, Silencio, for those who are in Silencio started this new thing that instead of paying, I did a video, released it this morning. Go check it out. But if you're in Silencio, instead of doing rewards after you're done with a reading, each point or coin you get or whatever it is, credit you get for doing a reading, a sample, or whatever you want to call it, sound reading, will get you one raffle ticket. So at the end of the month, you're probably going to have tens of 20s of thousands of raffle tickets, if not more. And each raffle ticket, depending on how much you rank, if you're a ruby or if you're a diamond, they will have some raffle tickets that are worth 1 million tokens. And, or it might be only worth 1 token. So each raffle ticket is definitely going to be a winner, but they're also giving away a Tesla. If this was right, I'm pretty sure that it was them. They were giving out a Tesla. If I'm not mistaken. Soarchain. Let me see. Y'all quote me on. I mean, if I'm wrong, it was a project that was giving out a Tesla, and I'm like, holy hell, they're giving out a Tesla. Yep, that is them. They're giving out that was part of the staking. They did an AMA. TGE is soon. This was yesterday. All cheaters are being deleted for TGE. So that's why we had those rank changes. And our first deep in luck raffle just started today, and they're giving away a Tesla. So everyone wants to know what they're doing with all the fundraising money they did with Silencio. There you go. But so there's a beta airdrop coming. I'm very curious to see what that is tomorrow or whenever that is. Actually, it might be. I know it's January 24th somewhere. So who knows? But Silencio, that's what they're gonna do. They're giving you points in the app for doing scans. That gets you raffle tickets at the end of the month or whenever the countdown is. I guess you're gonna automatically cash those raffle tickets in, and each raffle ticket's worth anywhere between 1 to 1 million tokens. We'll see. Again, normally, I said this in my video. When they change up tokenomics like this last minute, i.e., like Soarchain, I get a little upset. This one just seems intriguing. It seems a little different. I know that we're getting the actual Silencio tokens from the test net that we've been doing, and also the tokens from people using my code and stuff like that. You're getting the actual tokens. That should be a pretty decent chunk. Exactly how much it is, I don't know, because my numbers have changed more than once. So I'm very curious to see. But wrapping this all up, I have to say, I think it's awesome that being involved in a lot of these projects for a year, almost a year and a half, now 2 years, to see them start, our patience is paying off, and we're seeing these projects go to MainNet. We might not be happy exactly how they got there or what they're doing at this point, but I'm willing to give a little patience. I'm hoping that projects like Soarchain realize that, hey, this might have been a little drastic. We need to tweak it a little bit. Whether they give us a little bit more back for parking while it's parked or more for driving, I don't know. Silencio can try this raffle ticket thing out. I don't see a lot of people complaining about it. So just trying out different things. But I think it's a good time that it's cool to watch these projects finally get to MainNet. Wingbits is going to be going to MainNet after they get these geosigners set up. They want to see who's gaming, pull back all those gamed tokens, if that makes sense. And our reward should go up from that if there was somebody in one of your hexes that was gaming. So I think, again, our patience is going to pay off. It's a great time for them to be going to MainNet with the beginning of this bull cycle starting, and it should really help. We saw what happened with Solana with the Trump token. So a lot of these projects that are on MainNets with Solana, that should help that Solana token out. Not financial advice, but I've been calling for $800 Solana for this bull cycle. And when it hit $300 of the day, I said, I might be correct on that one. Peak, I'm very interested in seeing the peak. For those who have been following me, y'all know that I have been gathering a bag of peak every time the price dips, and the price has been dipping. But peak is going to have its first main big project, Silencio, get released soon on MainNet. So I'm very curious to see what happens to peak. There should be some more projects coming out. I don't know. So I really want to see what the price is. Listen, Dave, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very curious of the price also. People lost their minds when they did that pre-sale, which I still don't understand it. And I still complained it. You all know me. I complain about everything. I'm negative with everything. If I won $1 million, I'd complain about it because it means I have to pay half of it back to taxes that the government doesn't deserve. But people were very negative on the fact that there was a pre-sale done on some website. The website you couldn't even access from the United States. I questioned it from a different direction. Silencio, more than any other project, Silencio has been bragging about the millions and millions of dollars they have been receiving in seed money and fundraising. If you've been doing all that, why did you have to go and kill the price of that token on a pre-sale? Because from what I understand, the pre-sale price was very low. And I also am concerned with the vesting period, which I don't think there was, but if there's a vesting period that they're not allowed to sell those tokens right as soon as MainNet happens. Now, they got people in there who aren't used to crypto, but from what I've always seen in the past, that when projects or pre-releases have a pre-sale, those tokens are discounted because that's the whole carrot, as I would say, the bait, or I hate to use the word bait because it sounds like it's a trick, but people, you have to give them a reason to and want to invest in those tokens. And so you give them to them at a discount. So I tried telling some people in Discord, just because you see people buying Silencio at whatever price that was, does not mean that that's what the price is going to be. Plus, if it gets released and people aren't in the project but think that Silencio is going to do something, people are going to buy that token. So it's not all necessarily bad. That I wasn't losing my mind over that part, but it does make me pause and does give concern. But again, we didn't pay anything to get in this project. So whatever we make is lagniappe, as they say. Now, of course, I want it to succeed. I would love to pay my house off with it. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, we'll see. I just know that I have been running Silencio hard every day. I know I'm on a 300 and something day streak because I've been running it hard. And I know there's been people in that Discord also that are attacking YouTube influencers saying that the only reason we in that project is just to push the code out and we don't do anything else. And as soon as it goes to MainNet, we're gone. And I attacked him right back because y'all know me. But I'm ranked 1013 right now, and I am on a 360 day. I know you probably can't see that. 360 days streak. So we'll see. We'll see if I get this expected share, if that's going to change again. You know, we'll see what happens. Any rumors about new ESP32 projects? You getting any top secret DMs? No. And if I did, my ADD's in full overdrive right now, and I don't, I will say that I have some people who will contact me about some different projects, and nothing that I really feel warm and fuzzy about. Does that make sense? But I have been so busy lately with other things going on that I really haven't any time. I've been wanting to get into junk coin for 2-3 weeks now, and I'm just tonight finally starting to work on it. That's just how busy I've been. Now that, again, that hunting season's over, now that this weather thing's over with, now I can put more time into my crypto stuff, my YouTube stuff. I'm hoping to get involved in a few more projects because I like being involved in beta projects. Because let's be honest, knock on wood, and I'm not promising anything. This is not financial advice. I need to do a scrolling thing about not financial advice. That's where a lot of this money's made at a lot of times. People who made all this money in DIMO and some of these other ones and Honeygain and was testnet right when it first came out and stuff. So I don't mind getting involved in some early projects and stuff, especially when I don't have to invest a lot of money. I was looking at some of the new weather station stuff, but I'm scared of some of the reviews I'm seeing on them so far. I will say that my weather XM station, even in I think it got down to 8 or 9 degrees, still rocked on. Weather, the wind and stuff like that. I know I've been seeing people complain about, was it not Solar X, but the two different weather stations that kind of look alike, with the little vane freezing, which then you can't figure out what the wind chill is, and then people make excuses, though it's not really made for that. Yeah, it's probably giving out weather, stuff. And if it can't tell you what the wind chill is, that's part of the weather. So, map metrics is part of a peak, but you have to drive one, fortunately. Tons of missed venues. I'm gonna tell you, when they did that when Silencio did that big update a while back, I lost venues. Like, there's places out here that are still in business that I used to go to, and one restaurant, I'd go eat there with my family every now and then, and I would do a venue there, and it's not a venue no more. And I've even submitted the picture, even like Winn-Dixie grocery store. For those who don't know what Winn-Dixie is, a grocery store, real big chain grocery store. Under the old Silencio app, it was a venue. Under the new updated one, it was not a venue for the longest time. And every time I do a little picture of it and submit it as a venue missing, and just recently it got added back. So, but I'm gonna tell you, where I live at is a very rural area. I know I'm patting myself in the back, but I'm proud that I got to 1,000 because there were no venues around where I worked at. It's not like in the city. Like when I went to Disney World, or when I went to some other cities and stuff, when you walking around, you got venues. When you say venue, you got a list of 6 different venues, 7 different venues that you can pick. Around here, you don't have any of that. So I'll never get a reward for getting a lot of venues, because unless I'm traveling, I'm not getting venues. So, I don't know. I've always said I wanted to go ride around this Baton Rouge and New Orleans and just for half a day, just do venues. But then you got to sit there and watch the ad for 90 seconds. And then you're like, this is getting old quick. Now, for Understand with Silencio, if you start staking, you won't have to watch ads no more. And I am extremely interested in that. I will be staking my Silencio tokens when I get them. Unless there's some kind of amount that, and I'll talk about that in my video. You won't see me staking them for 2 years or nothing crazy like that, but I'll stake them for a little while and see what happens. Just like I'm staking my grass and I'm staking Soarchain. I'm Solana and other tokens. All right, so we've been going on for an hour and a half. I appreciate everybody who came. Please make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate everybody's feedback. And we're going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on mining Entropy and all my other ESP32 tokens. I can't wait to see what Wingbits does. I'm going to keep doing Soarchain. Just my big thing is, just because I might critique some projects, there's no reason to go attack me in Discords, because I'm still running those projects. I critique them in the hope that, especially when I have other people who are texting me or emailing me or DMing me the same thoughts, I'm just repeating half the time what they're saying also, just to put that in their head that, hey, maybe if we get enough of these complaints, we'll do something about it or tweak something. And that's all it is to it. So I appreciate everybody who has came by tonight. And I know they got another live going on with another project. So, and it's a guy who I respect, that's on Twitter. He starts his at 7:30. So I might have to tweak my time, or I'm not going to ask him to tweak his time. So I don't know. But I appreciate everybody who came by. And again, hit the like button. Thank y'all. Make sure you support all the projects that we talk about. And I actually got to sit here and work on my other thing I'm working on right now. Actually is, I know I've been saying this for 2 weeks now. I just need time to sit down, man. I still got to get my bit harvest on this old helium device. I haven't really been rushed because I'm putting this outside in Gulfport, Mississippi on the Gulf Coast. And I'm not going to put this outside when it's 29 degrees outside. So this might be this weekend's project, but it's going to get bit harvest on it so it can multi-mine. As you can see, it's a helium device. It already has a Wingbits DIY license, but I'm also kind of waiting for my geosigner that has to go with this. So it's also going to mine Honeygain, and it's going to mine grass and cure coin and everything like that with bit harvest. So this will be my, don't quote me on it because I ran out of fingers, but this might be my 8th bit harvest device on their little fleet system they got. So shout out to those guys at Bit Harvest Studio for doing that, because again, you got one device and you're in 7 different projects. So I got to work on that too. And I say I got to work on all this stuff with junk coin and bit harvest and stuff. And then as soon as I hang up with y'all, I'm going to switch this from Diet Coke to Diet Coke and Bywater Bourbon. For those who followed me long enough, y'all know I love some Bywater Bourbon. I just don't talk about it that much because I don't know how YouTube feels about talking about bourbon. And I don't want to get in trouble. They already got people out to get me as it is. But I'm going to switch this to some Bywater Bourbon and Diet Coke and go play some Call of Duty with Dave Fluffy, as some of y'all might know him. So other than that, hey Grumpy, there's a geosigner that tending to be outside. That's a good question. Not to keep this going, but I'm gonna need an extension cable for my geosigner, for 2 or 3 of my geosigners, because the ones I have on rooftops in Baton Rouge in New Orleans, the upstairs roof, I'll call attic, but the upstairs floor is they call it the penthouse. But that's where all the radio equipment is, repeaters and stuff like that, for people who have radio systems on top of the roof of these tall buildings. Well, I have a Wingbits device, whatever that might be. 2 of them in Baton Rouge. The ones in Baton Rouge actually are bit harvest devices, so I can multi-mine. But they're in that top penthouse with no windows. And the nearest hole to shove a wire through where the antennas are alone is 16 to 20 feet, which is longer than this geosigner GPS. So I don't know what I'm doing about that. 1 or 2 of my other devices are inside, where just a little antenna wire goes out. And I'm thinking that there's no magnet, even though that's magnet, the Geosonic GPS is magnet, there's not magnet to hook it to. So it's probably going to lay on the inside window sill of a window and see if I can connect. I don't know. I don't know how sensitive these GPSs are. I know that when I run my radios for work, the Motorola radios, sometimes the GPS, because we can track people where they're at with the radios, depending on how far they're in a building. If they're inside the building but still kind of close to the outside walls, their GPS actually still works. Once they get deep into a school or deep into a building, it don't work no more. So I'll be very curious, like the people with attics. I don't have any devices in attics because I know the antennas work much better outside. I know this is a very long answer. I'm sorry, Dave, but I think it's gonna need to be by some kind of window. But you know what I tell everybody? You try it at first and see what happens. Just remember, for those who didn't see that video that's got waiting on a geosonic to come, do not install it until February 1st. The way mine are looking right now, I won't get mine until February 1st. But make sure you have it installed by March. I think it's 15th or something like that is the cutoff date, and rewards will stop. But February 1st, do not install it until after February 1st. There should be some kind of automatic update that's coming down so that you won't have to worry about installing anything other than plugging the device. Also, another thing for those who are still here, those of y'all who are getting geosonars, this question seems to be coming up a lot. The geosonar does not replace, I don't know what I did with my SDR. The geosonar does not replace the SDR. I don't know what I did with mine. So if you have a little SDR for, well, of course you have an SDR that goes to the antenna and stuff like that. It does not replace the SDR. So you're going to have, an extension cable for you, which you don't have to have an extension cable, but I put extension cables on every one of mine after I've broken my USBs on the end of my SDRs. But so you're going to have one sticking out like this for your SDR, for your airplane antenna, ADS-B antenna. And you're going to have another one for your geosonar. The geosonar does not replace your SDR. There seems to be a lot of people who will keep asking that question over and over in the Discord. Jay Styles, I'm going to say, I don't know how that's possible when you've only had one or two people receive geosonar so far. So I don't know, unless, again, I ain't gonna lie to you, I have not been in their their Discord lately in case somebody is complaining about that. But again, I would still say it's all about GPS signal. You had to run an antenna outside. It's just a little SMA connector. I have majority of the ones that are on rooftops in some kind of outdoor box. I did a video on that about 3 or 4 months ago. People asked me on how I'm installing my Wingbits devices in outdoor boxes. I did a video on that, and it's got holes in the bottom of it and with grommets that tighten down. And my plan is just to take that geosonar, take the geosonar cord and just underneath and tighten the grommet back down. That's how I'm gonna do it. And if you have a metal box, I'd hope you would have some kind of grommet. You have to be able to get wires outside because you're getting power to it or Ethernet to it or anything like that. So I am curious to say, about the bad timing with the snow. Again, I think this came from customers, their potential customers, questioning how reliable that data is and stuff like that. And they figured out, I'm sorry. So I'm looking through the Wingbits thing as I'm trying to talk to y'all. So I don't know. It's all gonna be about the GPS connection. Oh, I'll keep rambling on. Oh, bad time by the Wingbits, snow on the roofs. I think that came from potential customers questioning the reliability of what the signal was. This was just the idea, and it's just the timing of how it all came out. They came out with the idea. the board, everything they're going to need to do the encryption and stuff. And by the time it came to planning, you know, it is, you know, you say it's bad timing, but I don't want them to delay it until the spring, because MainNet is going to be delayed until they get these geosigners installed, because they want to see who's gaming or not. So the quicker we get those all installed, and they can get through that data to see who says that they're on Main Street, but really they're 2 cities over, because that hex is filled. I think that's what you're going to get. I don't know what the tolerance is going to be, where, hey, I live on the corner of this hex, just inside of a red hex that somebody else already has. So I spoofed my GPS literally 100 or 200 yards so I can get out of the hex. I can see people doing that. And I'm curious if it's how dialed down is it going to be? Me, I'm lucky. I've been involved in Wingbits for 18 months. And really, you know, it was about 13 months, 14 months when I really started expanding all of my, when I was completely done with DFly. So that had to be months before, even before that. But I was able to get my stations in, and nobody was around here yet. So I don't have that problem to worry about. You know, but back then it was, you just install stations you want and you were buying your hexes. That's much has changed. And that's what I think the most you're gonna catch is people who are doing that. I'm sure there's somebody always, I say that, but I give people too much benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm too nice of a guy, the grumpy nice guy. I'm sure they got people gaming their butts off. People who had 3 or 4 stations. How many? And I don't think, again, maybe I'm naive. I don't think they're stupid enough to go plug the GPS in, even though they're completely gaming on the wrong side of the town. But I could see people saying, I plugged it in. I don't know why it's got a bad GPS. Oh, the GPS must be blocked. I don't know what's going on with it. Or their stations are mysteriously going to go down. I don't know. I buy Peak on crypto.com, the app. Yeah, I think I take my IoT, convert that to USDC, move the USDC to Peak, to crypto.com, and buy Peak like that. Or if I'm just doing a DCA after my normal, when my paycheck comes in, I just buy it off, straight buy it on Peak. On crypto.com app. That's what I'm doing it. J Style, that's what I think majority of my grommets have enough space now on the bottom of my outdoor boxes for another wire. And I made sure that I made either 2 or 3 holes on the bottom of my outdoor boxes, because I don't want to run anything that has power going through it. I don't want to run any kind of RF through that. So I know for a fact I have at least 2 holes, if not 3. One hole is strictly going to be power. So that one's going to be alone, and nothing's ever going to go in, near that one. So the other one is going to be antenna and maybe Cat 5 cable. I know the size of the grommets I'm using, that I'm going to have enough room to push that SMA connector through it. Now, if it was anything bigger than SMA, I would have been screwed, but I know I'll be able to fit that in there. So, oh, all right. I'm done. It is an hour and a half. I appreciate everybody again who came by. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. And, got a lot more videos to do. I got a list of videos to do. A lot more, trying to get into these projects and stuff like that. And, we'll see what happens. But thank you all for watching. Appreciate everybody thinking about me during our snow Mageddon down here in South Louisiana. Shut the whole state down. We don't know what to do. So we had to actually get snow plows, people bringing snow plows from other states and stuff. Arkansas and different places came down Louisiana to help us clear roads, because, some of our interstates are still shut down 2-3 days later. So it's crazy. But thank y'all for watching. See y'all in the next video.